Hey math kids, today we're going to talk about composite functions and we'll just get started right away. So a composite function is like a function inside of a function, and we're going to start with this weird notation that the book uses from time to time. And then they give us g. And then they want us to find f of g of x, and they also want us to find g of f of x. Okay, so the first thing with this notation, remember that this entire thing is really just f of x, and then this entire thing is g of x. So if you just want to set that equal to f of x, set that equal to g of x, that might be a little bit easier. I really hate this notation because it's kind of confusing. Okay? All right. Now f of g of x. First, you're going to take what this means is you take g of x and you plug it in to f of x. So if I write f of x, but I leave a space for the x, now I'm going to take g and plug it into that space. So I'm going to do 3 minus 4x, like that. And then from here we just simplify. I think once you get to this point, it won't be too bad. Combine these two, and so we get 7 minus 8x. And that's equal to f of g of x. Okay? Now this one, we're going to take f, plug it into g. So I'm going to write g, but I'm going to leave a space with parentheses to plug in f. Now I take f, plug it in, 2x plus 1, and then I multiply by negative 4. So negative 8x, negative 4, combine these two, which is negative 1, minus 8x, which is equal to g of f of x. Okay, now moving on to the next one. Now we're given that f of x is equal to 6x minus 5, and g of x is equal to x squared plus x. We need to find g of f of negative 1, as well as f of 0. Okay, this works about the same. First we're going to find f of negative 1. So we're going to write down f, get 6, negative 1, negative 5. And so we get negative 6 minus 5, which is negative 11. Okay, that's what this thing equals. And so we need to take negative 11 and plug it into the g, because this piece of it became negative 11, and we take this and we plug it into g. So we get negative 11 squared plus negative 11. So I just plugged it in right there. Okay, negative 11 squared is 121, minus 11 is 110. So g of f of negative 1 is 110. Okay, first thing we need to do is find f of 0. So we use f, plug in a 0. That just goes away, so that's negative 5. Now since this thing is negative 5, we're going to take that and we're going to plug it in to the other f, which is the same function. And so we get 6 times negative 5 minus 5. So that's negative 30 minus 5, negative 35. So f of 0 is negative 35. Now, if you need additional help, please come to Math Lab. Until then, calculator.